What's up, everybody? Working on another CJ83 Renegade. All painted up nice. A little salty from getting towed. This is a buddy of mine. We'll just say his name is Steve. And he just put this beautiful 304 in. It was 6-cylinder before. And he brought it out to me for some exhaust work. He had put on some coated headers and I bent up some pipe for him. Check down here. Flow effects I did. I like the way those sound. And ran the pipes out the back to the back corner, 2 1/4 inch. So while I was out here, I noticed a couple things on his engine swap that weren't fully done, and he knew it. And I said, hey, why don't you leave it out and I'll dress it up a little bit for you, maybe fire the motor up, break it in. And that way when you come to get it, drive it on the trailer, it'll be happy days. So, started digging in a little bit. Nothing major. Just finished the fuel line setup with the Edelbrock filter. He came up with a cool 90 way down there on the fuel pump to run the line over. Might be kind of temporary. He might go EFI. I did weld a bung in the exhaust for him in case he wants to do that. And then one of the headers, these are Headman, was hitting the spring hanger down the bottom there, so I pulled that out and clearanced it. I would say, excuse me, the biggest thing was he had this flex fan on there, and I said, you know, it is a fan, and he does have a nice 3-core aluminum radiator, but instead of that flesh-eating device, I would really prefer to just use the factory fan and shroud with a fan clutch. So nothing too fancy, but just a Hayden replacement clutch, and then a fan and a shroud from Crown that'll all bolt up for a V8. So I've had good luck with that. So gonna put those in tonight, and then wire this thing up for 12 volts to the HEI there, and then I think later this week we'll get it fired up and run the cam in for him, which kind of sounds like a suicide mission to me since I didn't build the engine, but he did have the lower end done by a pro, and he bolted the heads on and everything else, so it's all looking really good. I'll show you the tailpipe on this side. So those came out neat. Got the gamblers on it, 10-inch, old school. So yeah, pretty cool Jeep. So just getting some stuff done on it. See what it looks like after we get this shroud and fan deal fixed up. Alright, back at it again. Made some progress with the fan and the shroud. Wanted to show off what we did by basically putting it back to factory. But that all looks really good. Fan sticking out about halfway through the shroud, which is great. So I brought my timing light home from work the other night and figured, got this gauge wiring fixed where he's got an auxiliary gauge hooked up, and I said tonight's the night, we're gonna go for it, fire this thing up, break the cam in, yada yada. So got some Napa coolant, started filling her up, my normal deal, and heard it start hitting the floor. Not good. This was from last night, kind of leaked out. So pinpointed a leak at the timing cover seal gasket right down in this area here, and it's a little tough to see on video, but it almost looks like a divot in the cover, like it either got whizzy wheeled poorly or maybe the gasket just broke. So I said there's a couple different things I could do. Ignore it and run the Jeep anyway. Not really ideal. Have to keep feeding it water to keep it cool. You could put some shellac on the outside, which is not ideal either. So instead, I called and talked to my buddy, and we're just going to pull the timing cover off and check it out, fix it the right way, which is probably the best deal. And that'll hopefully get rid of all this mess. So I guess instead of doing a break-in section, we're going to do a removing the front cover on an AMC V8 tutorial. So stick with me for that and kind of take apart some of this other stuff that's been done, but it'll give us a chance to double check the timing gears and also the timing on the distributor, and whatever, we'll just dig in and make it right, you know? That's all we can do. Here we go. Culprit has been located. Well, the decision was made to go ahead and replace the cover. After looking at the other one, it was just too corroded. So after unboxing the new one, I see that the groove is still machined here, and I think that that might be to allow coolant to escape if you do have a leak at the gasket and not go into the crankcase. But way more material here, really pretty nice. And we should be able to make that seal no problem. I'm going to take his old oil filter adapter for the bottom of the oil pump and reuse it. This kit, I opted to get the one with the new oil pump gears. His were new, so I packed them full of Vaseline, petroleum jelly. It comes with a new housing for the oil filter and the bypass, but it is missing. The kit doesn't come with the adapter and then that bolt or cap on the end. So this was all new and clean, so I'm just going to stick his back together here, save that for a rainy day. So got these stacked up, ready to go in, and I'll jam a little more in there, get this together and put a coat of paint on. Time to prime up that oil pump. This is a device that my father engineered 100 years ago, dummy motorcraft distributor, so we can stick it in the oil pump, prime it up. Now that we got the front cover back all together, stayed up past my bedtime last night getting that done. We got a mechanical oil pressure gauge to look at, so I'll set you in here and hopefully this works. In about 10 minutes. Would have liked to do a little bit better startup video, but time is short and I'm on my own. Looking good. Looking real good. Got all the normal smells going on. Headers are looking a little hot. Normal. Right at 1950 right now. Backed it down from 2200 for a few minutes. Real good. Smelling warm out here. Lots of new paint. You would not believe the air this thing is moving. I put a fan down there just to help it out, but wow. Bit, some exhaust tips, and double check the timing. Sounds pretty nice. Had to kick it out because I got my 7 in the garage. Sorry, buddy. Just for one night. Set the timing up, total 32 degrees. Make sure it starts nice and no pinging.